at that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it looks really pretty. This is the road trip setup right now. Got my neck pillow. Dad does not have a neck pillow, but he's not sleeping. Although neither am I.
I don't sleep much when I drive. I try not to. I've driven just about everything down this road.
Really?
Yes. So.
How many times have you done it without supercars? Like just in total, with supercars and with regular cars?
Honestly, stop counting.
Oh man.
So I've done it in an Integra Type R, which we filmed.
Yeah.
I've done it in the AMG S55 Mercedes. I've driven it in the Huracan, the original Huracan, the first one. Multiple times. I've done it in my 458. I've done it in my F430 Scuderia. I've done it in the SVJ. I've done it in my manual Murcielago. Actually, that's a lie. I've never done it in the SVJ, I don't think. I think I transferred the SVJ now. I've just done gumball in it so many times it feels like I've done crazy road trips. So not the SVJ. I've done it in my LP640 manual Murcielago.
That's crazy.
I have not done it in the first gen GT1 Murcielago manual. But I have driven the entire east coast of the U.S. because we started in Boston and drove to Boca Raton, Tasha and I.
Oh, yes.
On Gold Rush.
Yep.
So.
You've done a lot of driving.
Oh, yeah. Crazy. Like, I wouldn't doubt that in the next 2 years, I've probably done 1 million kilometers in supercars.
Wow. That's a lot.
I would definitely have hit probably that milestone in about 2 years' time.
That's impressive.
Because each year I do a little over 100,000 kilometers, about 100,000 kilometers. I'd say about 100,000 kilometers a year I drive in supercars.
Wow, that's a lot of driving.
Yeah,
at least it's in supercars.
Yeah, because I do just shy of, I do about probably, I'd say 7,500 kilometers a month on average. Some months a little less, some months a little more when we do big rallies.
That is a lot. Although you were saying that if you weren't a YouTuber and you were working a normal job, you would be happy to do like transporting, like driving a truck with cars.
Yeah, we were talking about that actually.
Yeah.
I said if I was to choose a career that, is like your kind of like,
I guess normal job isn't even like the word for it, because like driving a truck is not really normal or like super average, but
it's pretty normal because when you think about the sheer volume of truck drivers it takes.
True, I guess.
To get all the stuff we take for granted around the world. So that's why I'm super grateful for everybody who has any career on any level.
Yeah.
Because everything makes the world go round.
Totally.
Right? So when you think about being grateful for the things you have, we wouldn't have any of the stuff we have without all the people who drive it all over the place. Like all these trucks.
Yep.
Look at them. Every 2 seconds it's a truck. Right? There's UPS right there. So all these people who facilitate moving these products, these services, these goods around.
Yeah.
Not services. They're not moving massage people or hairstylists. They're moving products around, the widgets all over the world. They're everywhere. All the food that's at these fast food places or restaurants or whatever, it all arrives on a truck.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
But that's just goes to show how much this guy loves driving.
I do love driving. So if I was to choose a career, what I was getting at is I'd choose a career driving a vehicle of some kind. Like driving long haul trucks would be fun. I'd probably do something more like Carlos though. I wouldn't want to drive a big rig. I would want to drive something like a dually with a trailer and move people's like fancy cars around. Yeah. That would actually be a really cool job.
Yeah, that would. You'd probably meet a lot of really cool people as well.
You would. Great networking. And you're always just on the road cruising. You got to remember though, 55 in the right lane. Dave and I drove going back to how many times have I done this route? The first time I drove and hauled anything, we drove the dually Dodge that we have, the big Ram. I guess it's just called a Ram now. Sorry, I always call it a Dodge still. But I drove the dually Ram with the 2 cars in the back of our trailer. And Dave and I drove it straight, just taking turns sleeping in the back. And we both got tickets. I got a ticket in California for passing a slower vehicle, and I had to speed up. So I was doing 65 in the left lane, and he gave me a ticket.
So you're not allowed to be in the left lane at all?
You are if you're passing a slower vehicle, but that vehicle has to be doing slower than 55 miles an hour.
Oh my gosh. That's tough.
Yeah. It's a grind when you're only doing 55 all the way down here.
Yeah. I was going to ask you as well, what was your dream job before you started doing YouTube? Like when you were like my age or younger?
What did I wanted to be a firefighter.
Really?
Yeah, you know, it was a combination of you get paid to stay in shape.
Yeah.
You help people in need, and you get to play with cool things like the fire truck and all the equipment and stuff, like the respirators, the axe.
Right.
I thought it was pretty cool.
That is
So
cool.
I wanted to go to school and be a firefighter at one point. You had to go to school for that. You have to go to the Justice Institute in British Columbia and take a special course to be, I believe, a firefighter or a paramedic.
Yeah, that makes
The downside was, to go to it, you had to have your high school diploma, which I didn't have. And I had grade 8. So I would have had, not even grade 8, so I would have had to do 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. That's 5 years of schooling, right?
Yeah.
I was like, Dumb David, no do school. Make me run course, carry hose. I'm like caveman, right? Like I couldn't, I don't know, I just wasn't
You're
committed.
smart.
I am, but not academically. Like,
Yeah.
not book smart.
That's fair.
So I'm like street smart. I
Yeah.
kind of have that common sense knowledge, but I don't have the, like, you know, textbook knowledge. So
That's fair.
I could have went and got my GED, but it was going to take me like 3 years. Then I would have had to go and apply to get into the school, which was like a 2-year backup, and then do this school, which was like a year or 2. So by the time I'd completed everything, it would have been like 7 years to get a career. I was like, that's not going to work. But I did go. My dad paid for me to go and do an industrial level first aid certificate, so that if you had that, you worked at any of the mills in our area, you got paid more, because now you could be, even if you weren't the first aid attendant, you were like the backup. They had to pay you more.
Right.
So I went and got that, and I got like 98.9%. I almost aced the course.
I knew that. I knew that because Mom's always told me about that. She's like, your dad is actually really smart. He went and did this, whatever, and she told me that story, and she's like, yeah, he like pretty much aced the test. I'm like, that's impressive, because that wouldn't have been an easy test.
Well, I got the highest score out of the class, and a lot of the people who take the class are majority people who are just renewing. So they already are supposed to know all this stuff. They're just renewing their certificate, because you have to renew it all the time.
Wow.
In order to stay an active first responder at a facility like that. So I got the highest score in the class, which was cool. And the textbook I had to read was like 400 pages, and it was all these big medical terms. So every third word, I'm not even exaggerating, like every third word in this book, I had to go and look in the index, or look up in a, what is it, a thesaurus? Like what it meant.
A thesaurus,
I had to figure out what the word meant. I didn't even know what it meant. So I studied basically 10 hours a day. I went literally to my dad's place, where it was super quiet on Cortez Island, and I studied my face off for like 3 weeks before I went and took the course. And then the cool thing about the course, which really helped me retain the information, was it was a practical course, which means it was hands-on. Everything was like acting out scenarios. So it was like, all right, you've arrived at the scene of a truck that crashed into the front of the building, and there's 2 occupants. And you basically walk up and they tell you what's wrong with the people. Like, oh, this guy's got a compound fracture leg. This person has, you know, they're unconscious. They have some bleeding out of their ear. Okay, who do you pay attention to first? And you basically have to attend to the person with the most life-threatening illness. So you go through all that. You have to like basically put a splint on the person's leg all properly, and you do it all like real life. You bring out like real splints and all that.
Wow.
And you'll spend like 2 hours attending these people in this car and like going through all the protocols, you know, keeping them alert, checking their ABCs, which is airway, their breathing and their circulation. You always want to check those things. This is what keeps someone alive.
Yep.
Right? I even remember that stuff to this day. Well, it's really cool. You learn CPR and all that stuff.
Wow.
And if you have to do CPR on someone, you can't stop until the other paramedics get on site. So sometimes you'd be in the class and you'd have to sit there and do CPR on one of the pretend acting patients. They'd make you do it for like an hour straight.
That's tiring.
Yeah, so they run you through all the protocols. And yeah, there's a lot to learn. Anyhow, fun fact, I'm no longer
really cool.
certified, but I've had my industrial first aid.
Wow. That's super cool. I did know that, but I didn't know the fireman story.
Yeah.
Firefighter story.
Yeah, I wanted to be a first responder firefighter. And then I realized later on I'm mentally probably incapable of doing that job because I'm a big softie. And that would be a really, really hard job to do mentally.
Yeah. We were actually talking about that last night because there was a little forest fire.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could not be a firefighter, which is ironic now that you're saying that that's what you wanted to do. But yeah.
Well, you don't think about it at the time. Like,
no,
he's showing
it sounds
up to
cool. And then
house. Hey, look at all the cows. Holy cow.
a lot of cows.
It is. You would show up to like a house that maybe a family got trapped in and was like on fire, and you're like going in there and you're like maybe pulling out, you know, CHP, there's a cop. You'd be pulling out, you know, people or children that are like unconscious and like half burnt. That'd be really hard to see.
That would be very difficult to see. So shout out to all of our first responders out there.
Shout out to first responders, police officers,
really
firefighters,
doing some crazy work.
military, all that stuff. Is like, as much as it's a physical game, it's a mental game, man.
Oh yeah, which is like almost more exhausting.
100%.
Yeah. Well, we got more cows.
Moving down the highway.
Now it's really starting to feel like California.
Yeah, very dry.
Dry and flat, straight.
That yellow grass, right?
Yeah.
Typically, when I drive through here, it's like really dry. This is one of the rare times I've driven up here when it's actually raining.
Yeah, we've had a lot of rain.
Yeah. A lot of rain this week. Most of the trips have been actually wet. We have some dry patches, but we have driven the majority of our route in wet conditions. There's so much of this drive that obviously we don't film.
Oh yeah.
But if you wanted to know what it was like behind the scenes, this is it. Just aim the camera forward for like 5 minutes.
I can put it on time lapse actually.
That'd be cool.
I'll put it on a little time lapse for you guys.
Must be hauling that for a client or something, because if that's his car, I don't know why he's not driving it. I'd rather be driving the S-Class than driving the truck. And our friends
All right, we're at a stop getting some food because I'm hungry. Looks good. Well, lunch was good.
Lunch was amazing.
Yeah.
We didn't show lunch, this one on the main channel, but we found this little Thai place that made super clean chicken, plain rice, which I still didn't eat the rice because I can't have too many carbs, but I got my protein in, and they just made the most beautiful soft-boiled egg. Like, incredible.
It was good. I had broccoli and chicken and rice with a Thai peanut sauce, and it was amazing. What should we got going here?
That's to keep my extra chicken refrigerated.
Exactly.
I'm actually freezing because we got the AC cranked in here just to keep my chicken cold.
You have a hoodie behind you?
I do.
Well, back on the road again. On the way to the HQ.
Yeah.
We got like 5.5 hours?
Yeah.
Not too bad.
That's not that bad.
No, we've done like, what, 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
It is crazy. And we have a hotel reserved for tonight.
Where are we staying?
Phil contacted me. We're going to stay at the other hotel. The one with the bigger gym in Anaheim.
Oh, nice.
Bigger gym. I asked him if he could give me a room with a tub so I can do ice baths, cold baths.
That's nice.
Yes.
I really like their bathrooms at that one. They're so big, fancy.
Nice.
They're very nice.
So who knows? Maybe we'll even find our way to Disneyland for a couple hours one night. Never know. We're gonna take my kid to Disneyland.
I'm not really a kid anymore, but I would still love to go to Disneyland.
You're my kid. You'll always be my kid.
Well, we got a straight stretch ahead of us. The clouds look really cool though. Look at the clouds.
The clouds look rad. This part of the drive is pretty boring.
Yeah.
It's just straight.
Yeah. And we're passing all these big trucks.
Oh, look what we got here. A bunch of cows in the field.
More cows. And we made it back.
We did.
And now we have to go.
Send Dave a photo for a thumbnail.
Yep.
So we're gonna go down this hallway. And we can turn this on. By the way, I've not seen the new wheels on my Murcielago.
Ooh.
And by new, I mean just we re-barreled them. So the front wheels were really wide. It had a 3.5 inch lip on the front.
That's why they were.
Yeah,
they
it's
were
a
rubbing,
wide
right?
body kit. Look what's in the corner. Look at that lineup. Go look at it. Go touch it. Go sit in it. Do whatever you want.
I'm so
gonna take
excited.
a thumbnail.
Okay, enjoy taking your thumbnail.
Actually, hold on. You have to get out of my shot because we're gonna do something. We're gonna do a thing here. This is absolutely perfect.
Thumbnails. Oh my god, look at her. She's beautiful.
You love it?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's here. It's real.
It's here. It's real.
This is missing something. Hint, hint. Oh my goodness. Okay, I want to sit in it. Oh. How do we fix the interior here? I guess we'll never know. Oh my god. Oh, look at her. I cannot wait to start making some changes on this. Looks so good. It looks so good. Well, I was tired from the road trip, but not anymore. Now I'm wide awake. Oh my god. Oh, just as I remember it. Beautiful and perfect. Absolutely perfect. I want to go drive around in the lot out there. I'm so stoked. I can't wait to reveal the color.
Here. And look at these two cars.
Yeah?
It's actually really cool, how well they are stacked against each other in a competition. They're both great cars.
Totally. I know. I was just thinking that. Looking at both of them, they actually look really good sitting beside each other.
And think about it, 55,000, 42.5. That's a lot of, this is a lot of car for the money.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Right? PDK, dual clutch transmission.
Yep.
Manual gearbox, naturally aspirated V8, naturally aspirated flat plane crank 6, or flat 6, not flat plane crank, flat 6. I'm really tired. I've been driving since 8:30 this morning. 13 hours in that car. Yeah, and like your car sits really good. Like, does it have coilovers in it, or is it just lowered on stock factory? No, your car's got actual lowering springs and stuff.
Oh.
Which is pretty cool, because you're saving money there.
I am saving money there.
Oh yeah. You have like a whole coilover kit there. You have room to adjust it,
So,
which is cool because you don't have to spend your money on any of that. Like,
that is
your
nice.
car's ride height is literally dialed. If you just keep this size wheel and change the tire, like put the tires back on,
yep,
you're good. Which is pretty
So
sick.
a bit more, but in reality, it's like there's
it
things
came with some stuff that you were gonna get anyhow.
Yeah. I just want to go over this again. Budget for the car was 60, and then we get 10 to put into it.
Yeah.
And if we're under the budget for the car, then so
Get that, yeah.
right.
So technically you have like 15 grand.
I've got 15, and Jason's got a lot more. 18. He's got 28, and I've got 15.
Yeah.
If I'm doing my math correctly.
Man.
It's really cool.
We just gotta do something about this door panel.
I know. I was just asking you, how do we fix that? Like, is that
We'll
difficult?
get it fixed. We'll probably just find another door panel or something.
Okay. Well,
I'm excited.
she's
for you.
beautiful.
How's it feel? Good?
So good. I was just saying I was tired, and now I'm wide awake.
Not your driving position. You probably need to sit up.
No, the steering wheel is also hitting my knees. Like it's literally sitting on my knees, but it's okay. I'm not
Adjust
driving
all
it.
that.
I want to drive it right now, but I'm not driving it right now. I am nervous to drive in LA in this, but you said we were gonna maybe work on it with me driving the minivan.
Well,
It's not really a
what
minivan.
we'll really do is we'll just get this thing
Carrera
sorted
van
out. We'll
TT.
just start driving. We'll drive in like, probably just start off when there's not much traffic and just build up to it. Drive
So
more.
nighttime?
It's like anything. Listen,
I know.
young people drive here all the time. Like, you just have to understand that. Like,
That
you
concerns
gotta be confident about what you're doing.
We'll work on that. Hey, thanks for creating a platform where I can do this stuff with you.
My pleasure. First thing I thought about when I started the channel.
Yeah, for sure.
No, this is really cool. I have interest in running a business and being creative and doing all that sort of stuff. Actually, executing said thing, I'm like, just make it happen. Do the thing I asked for.
That's understandable. And you know what? I also have the interest in the business, and that more so than getting the hands dirty part, but it would be cool to know some of that. Would make me a little bit more useful in life. You know, not having to rely on other people as much.
You know, between you and I,
Yeah?
if I had the budget, right,
Yeah.
and I had to choose between this or this,
Yeah.
it would be really hard.
Yeah.
Like, there's things in this that I like. Clutch, manual gearbox, you
yeah.
kick the clutch, rear wheel drive. But at the same time, like, this, honestly, like this platform has way more potential to outperform this by like, honestly, by like a landslide.
Yeah.
Like, you can take a 911 and make it a freaking street/track weapon, because they're just built like the way that they're just so built with a balance that every car they build has got that DNA in it. This is a cool little car.
Yeah.
But honestly, this car with like a track setup tire, dialed in the suspension, and a few little tweaks, this thing would freaking rip. Like, for
You need a little bit.
400 horsepower, you tune it, you get 400 out of it, NA, it's gonna scream. These is just, the 911s handle so good, Porsches.
You need a bit more of a budget though, right? To make it do that.
Oh yeah, I'm talking
Yeah.
like if you took one of these.
But
I'm
even
talking
if
like
it
a
had
crazy
like
track car, like
Yeah.
if I took this and stripped it,
Yeah.
and put a race bucket seat in it, and the cage in it, right?
Yeah.
And tuned it, made it 400 horsepower, and put it on like slicks and took it to the track, this car would kill the equivalent to trying to do that to this car.
Right. Even on the same budget. Like, you just can't.
It's just the simple stuff. It's just the balance of like an engine being back here versus an engine being in the front of the car.
Right.
So, but Jason's car is really clean. It's cool looking.
Jason's
Like,
car
you
is very
can't really
clean.
need it for 45 grand,
No.
to be honest.
No, you really can't.
Hell, 42.5. Like, it's an Aston Martin. It
Yeah.
looks stock. It looks more exotic than this.
Yes, that is true.
The 911s have really nice lines. I've always liked Porsches.
I really love the silhouette of this car.
Yeah.
I love it.
By the way,
Yeah.
the Lamborghini Revuelto
Yes.
is one of my favorite cars. Like that. After we drove all the way down here, we got into some LA traffic, and I finally started putting things into Corsa and performance mode and zipping around some of the traffic a little bit. It honestly is a weapon of a freaking platform. It is so quick, so nimble, so planted, so comfortable, but still the emotion and the soul that you get out of that exhaust note, even stock.
Yeah.
It just sounds gnarly, like it sounds muscular. It's badass.
It really does. You should have heard this guy. He was excited about it. I really like being in cars and drive. I'm not super great at driving, obviously not his level, but being with him when he's driving, that is the best. But look at how I am stoked. Yeah, this is gonna be a close competition, I think. It's gonna look good. I'm excited to see what Jason does with this.
Yeah. He's got a really good imagination. He's been working on that platform for years. So
Yeah.
he has, so to speak, a leg up on you in that regard.
Well, people might disagree with you there.
No, he's been obsessed with that car.
Oh, he's got a leg up with, yes, with
and,
like the knowledge and
yeah.
and all of that. For
And
sure.
knowing what he wants, like he knows to a T what he wants.
Yeah.
Like there's no like, what brands or what, like he knows the aftermarket automotive industry.
Yeah.
So he made a bunch of phone calls within like the first week and had half that car spec'd out already. He knows everything. He knows what headers, exhaust. He knows exactly who to call.
Yeah, he's got it down. I know what I want. I just don't know the brands. I can't believe how quickly. I still can't get over how fast.
I know.
That was
Considering
done.
how custom all the bodywork is.
Yeah.
And it's wrapped for now because I really wanted to just get it out on the street, obviously, and drive it. But I'm playing with the idea of painting it. So I've thought about painting it obviously white, and I would just paint it like basically the, flat white Lamborghini Murcielago SV white.
But then if you ever want to wrap it again, white isn't good for a base color, is it?
It's not, but I mean, PFS is pretty damn good at wrapping.
They sure are.
I mean, this car is white right now, and it's metallic gray underneath, and primer, and carbon. You'd never even know.
True that.
And because race car, it's always going to look a bit rough around the edges, which I like. It's not perfect. The race cars aren't perfect, and at DDE we drive our cars. So, but it needs a custom coilover setup so that it really rides a lot better, and I can dial things in. And then it needs a few other little tweaks. I thought about painting this car the Viola Parsife purple that's on the Revuelto.
Yeah.
Because I do really like that color. It's really rubbed off on me. And purple, that tone of purple specifically, and that lighter blue interior would look really good together. Actually, the opposite of Lamborghini's 30th anniversary Diablo, which was a lighter purple with a darker blue interior.
Oh, that's cool.
And that was factory from Lamborghini. So it had a darker blue interior with a lighter purple exterior. This would have a darker purple exterior with a lighter blue interior. You want to see it?
Yeah, please show me.
This is like so many people's favorite Diablo of all time.
I feel like I've seen a photo of it before, but I need you to refresh my memory.
I will refresh your memory.
But it would also be cool to have the cars twinning a little bit. I feel like you kind of have that theme going,
Yeah.
You got the Senna and the 720 with the same wrap on it.
So here's the light purple. Here's the light purple, right?
Oh, yeah, cool.
Lighter purple,
Yep.
darker blue
Dark
interior.
blue. Yeah, that.
And I would do, so you can see it, right? That's the car,
Oh, I really like that color on that car.
right?
Yeah, it looks really cool.
And you go, right?
Yep.
See how it's a darker blue interior?
Yep.
But then if you went viola, stand by.
Standing by.
Lamborghini, viola, par.
I can see it.
Oh, here we go. So here, look. Now just picture that purple
Yeah.
with that light blue interior.
Yep.
It would look so sick.
It would look so sick. Good noggin you got there, hey?
Yeah.
Sweet.
And if I did that, I would probably just paint right over the louvers. I'd just paint it all purple. So you'd see the louvers because of the texture, but they'd be viola Parsifal. I don't think I'd paint them black.
Yeah.
It would look so gnarly, all purple, with the yellow headlights and the blue interior. Like, it's a take on the 30th anniversary.
I love it. I love the idea.
These are the things I think of. And you know what's neat?
What?
I don't take credit for any of it because I just take other ideas of other people's and I blend them all. I'm just like a master mixer. I just take like a little of this, a little of that. Like that interior came from a buddy of mine, Mike. His Agera RS1 had a white exterior with a light blue Alcantara interior. I was like, I'm gonna put that in the car one day.
Yeah.
Like 5 years later, I did it.
This interior is wild.
It is. Turned out really good. All the guys at E3 killed it. Somebody got their fingerprints on there. But it's a beautiful interior. Like, it's really nice. This is also the first interior I've ever done on a car. Out of all the mods I've done, I don't normally mod the interior that much.
Well, because it takes a while, you said, right?
Well, these guys banged it out for me, but
yes.
Yeah. But even like this, like these are real Senna seats. These are not 600 LT and they are not 765 LT seats. The giveaway is the padding on the seat. It's a different seat. So this is an actual Senna seat. This is not the carbon sport seat that they put in the LT cars. So putting this in and putting the titanium MSO half cage in and the harnesses and stuff again, that was a big deal for me because that was one of the first times I started modding like the interior, but I felt like the interior needed to feel special to go with what was supposed to be the first version even of the 720 GTR. I'm so excited to get the motor back in this thing. I really want to drive this car. Because this car driving is gonna look crazy.
Oh yeah.
It's so wide and it's so bubbly. It really reminds me of a P1 GTR. Like it really does. So.
This is a crazy car.
Let's see how we did the louvers over like this.
Yep.
Like,
You've got a thing for louvers,
hey? You can see them, but they're painted. That would be like these. You would see them, but they'd be all viola Parsifal, I think. I could do them black. They would stand out a little more. They'd still blend in a lot because it'd be two darker tones, not so like black and white.
I feel like it would stand out a bit more though because these are like, I feel like these start back a bit more and they're only on the side, whereas like you got all up there on the Mercy. And there's 3.
PFS killed it with wrapping this. Like the fact that they had to wrap that on an angle and make it all look and work like that, that's a lot.
That's some talent.
Yeah.
George, is he the guy?
Mm-hmm. This gets picked up tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It is exciting.
Are you pumped?
Let's make it drive again. Let's go. It's been forever. Everything takes so long.